Well, I did make a dress for Sophie's, even though I didn't think I'd find the time to do that. However, I'm not going to Sophie's. It is probably round about this time of the year that everyone is travelling to or already arrived in Surrey for Sophie's, and I'm not there. So I had a busy week, had a couple of days in Birmingham, had some real nightmare commuting journeys this week, and I just feel really shattered, and I didn't want to overdo it because I was at the knit and stitch show last Sunday, and I have a lot to share with you from what I got there. So the dress is here, I'm here, I have 4 more, but I'm sure I'll be fine, and I'm sure everyone will have a lovely time at Sophie's, but I just didn't feel like it was worth pushing myself too far. So I'm here, I'm about to show you what I made and what I bought last Sunday at the knit and stitch show at Alexandra Palace. So let's crack on with that, shall we? I'm Julie, this is Julie Sews Her Own Clothes. Today I'm wearing a cropped sweater top that I made yonks ago. It's starting to fade the colour a little bit, but I love wearing it, and I have my little black star earrings from Becky's shop. Put the name here, can't remember it. I'll show you what I made for Sophie. So I had this lovely jersey fabric from Fabric Obsession that I really wanted to make something with. I had some lovely suggestions in the chat, and I went for the Billy one because I already had the pattern pieces cut out. 2, because I've made it several times and I knew it would be a quick and easy sew. I made it over 2 morning sessions before I started work, so I had a couple of hours. It doesn't take long, especially when you've made it several times. I wasn't sure whether or not I'd be able to hide the wildlife. It's a hidden, it's not a tiger, it's a leopard, I think. And I didn't want it right bang in the middle of the dress, so I think you can see I managed to get one kind of hanging over the shoulder there, and one kind of hiding in the side just above the pocket, and I also have one on the arm. So they're not smack bang in the middle of the front, but it kind of is at the back because, well, yeah, it kind of is at the back because I had 2 meters and I had to use the fabric where I had to use the fabric, but I did manage to get the front and the sleeves how I wanted them. I did the bell sleeve because I love the bell sleeve, and I put a deeper, narrower cuff on it because I have this very slight wrists, and I don't like it when you pull them up and they just flop straight back down, so I always alter the sleeve patterns, and I will put some photos at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like on. But if you've not seen the Billy, I'm sure most of you have, this is the Billy from Tilly and the Buttons, and there's different sizes, lengths and styles of sleeve. So that's what I made for Sophie's. I did contact the organisers and they were able to give my ticket or resell my ticket to someone else, so that's really great. I didn't really want to not show up and there be a space there that someone else could have filled. But last Sunday I spent a really lovely day with Sam from Sequin Girly Creates. Sam was gifted a couple of tickets from the event organisers and asked me if I wanted to go with her, which we had a lovely day. I have to say the journey there was not lovely. The trains were disrupted. I ended up on a ton of buses. I really don't know my way around London, but I was quite chuffed that I managed to get there without having to call Chris and ask him, how do I get from here to here? but it was quite a difficult journey to get there. And when we arrived, it was just, we're busier than I expected it to be on a Sunday. And I think if I'd gone on my own, I wouldn't have stayed long. I would have felt quite overwhelmed. But I think when you're with someone, you know, we chatted at the stalls, we avoided the really busy stalls. I think we kind of went up and down some aisles 3 times, probably missed some aisles altogether, but we did have a really good mooch about, and I found some fabrics. I went there with the intention of looking to purchase some quilted fabric, and that was kind of all I had in my plans, is what I wanted from that day. And I got 3 lovely quilted fabrics, but I'm going to start with what's on the table in front of me, because I'll forget what I got from where, and I've took everything out of the bag so I'm not rattling about in the background. If you do hear any noise, it's from the heater, because it's just too cold not to have it on this morning. So I'm going to start with, and these are not in the order of how I made my purchases, they're just how I've laid them out in front of me. I got myself 3 meters of viscose poplin, and this was from So Enchanting. I've never heard of them before. They had some beautiful fabrics, and I managed to get what was left on the end of the board of this gorgeous viscose poplin. I mean, a dark background with some really bright designs on the front is just what attracts me. I just thought it was gorgeous. There was a dress made up in it on the stall, and it just looked fabulous. And I thought, yes, I'm gonna have a little bit of that. So that was one of my purchases. And the reason I picked this was because at the stall previous to seeing this, I bought a dress pattern, and it's from Trend Patterns. It's the drawstring dress. I've seen a few of these on Instagram, and I thought they just looked lovely. There's the line drawings, and I thought in a nice lightweight cotton viscose poplin, that would be really lovely. So that's what I'm going to use to make that dress. And because it has a lot of gathering and ruching, I probably am going to need the 3 meters, which is what it suggests. So that's my first pairing. So I didn't just get a fabric and think, oh, I'll bring it home and not know what to do with it. Well, I may have done. For this one I didn't. I have a pattern that I purchased, and then this came because I thought, yeah, that'll be a great match. So that's good to go in the wash. I've got to say, the bags have sat since Sunday evening when I got home. The bags have sat at the patio doors. I didn't even unpack them. They've just been there, and I thought, oh, I'll have a look through them when I'm ready to vlog. So everything needs a good wash. But next on my list of things that I purchased, I'm going to go with the Higgs and Higgs purchase. No, I'm not. I'm going to go with Rainbow Fabrics, because I got this one first and then I got the other 2. So, quilted fabric. I was on a mission to find some nice quilted fabric, because I do have a couple, well, I've got 3 patterns that I really want to try and make up at different lengths. The first one is the Sander jacket, and I'm really keen to try this. You can see it's got a cropped version and it's got a long version. I potentially might make something in between those lengths, so it's more kind of high hip rather than waistline, but it's a really cute quilted jacket pattern. And I finally have the Havea from Megan Nelson. The Havea I'd already purchased, but I bought the wrong size. I didn't realise that they were selling them in 2 sizes, and I bought the 18 plus. This is the 0 to 20, and there's the line drawings. I'm going to aim for this if I can get it out at 2 meters. No, I'm not. I'm going to aim for this if I can get it out at 2 meters. If not, I'll go for the cropped version. So I am quite keen to make that up. I purchased it in March, got the wrong size, gave that to someone that I thought might make better use of it, and I now have a size that works for me. But I also have the in the modern wardrobe from the Great British Sewing Bee, there is a patchwork jacket in there that I think would make a nice little quilted jacket as well. So I have 3 jackets, and I've got 1 quilted fabric that I got from First Fabrics a few years ago. It's sat in my stash. I need to make it up because actually these quilted fabrics take up a lot of room, don't they? So this is the First Fabrics one that I have, and I'll be making one of them up in this. Although I might wait until make this the last one, because it's that kind of, whilst it's really lovely colours and bang on trend at the moment, it's that kind of slippy fabric. I'm going to leave that one till last. And I'll have this one from First Fabrics. Got there eventually, didn't I? So this is on a black background. Although, yeah, it's on a black background. It looks very dark navy, but actually now it's in the light. Oh, I don't know. It might be it's either navy, dark navy, or it's black. But it's got these gorgeous animals on them. It's like an Indian print type fabric on the front, and on the back it's a stripe. It's black. It's black and red and white stripes on the back, and it's relatively thin, but it feels quite stiff. So I don't know what that's going to feel like when it comes out of the wash, because it does need a good wash. But this is going to be the first fabric I use to make one of those quilted jackets. I think most of you probably seen Sequin Girly Creates made about 8 or 9 quilted jackets last year. And I've been wanting to make one since. So yes, I am going to give that a go, but it needs a wash to hopefully take the stiffness out of it. But I don't know, maybe the stiffness will make it easy to sew with. Let's see, we shall see. So that was from Rainbow Fabrics. I did want something a bit softer in terms of that kind of quilted fabric, and I found something at Higgs and Higgs that I wasn't expecting. It wasn't kind of the plan. I was looking, in my mind, I was looking for cotton pre-quilted fabrics, which is that Rainbow Fabrics is. But this is, let's get it right, it's a quilted jersey. So the first one I got was in a navy, and it is super soft. It's stretchy. So actually this could work really well for a cardigan, a sweater, a bomber jacket, or one of those quilted patterns that I just showed you. But it's got some lovely stretch on it. That's the back. This is the front. It's pretty much the same, and it has a very fine layering. There's hardly anything there. So I think that's a really lovely find. I wasn't expecting to find a jersey quilted fabric, and I got a couple of meters of that. So it could be one of those quilted jackets, or it could be a bomber jacket. I've kind of started thinking that would be nice for the Ollie bomber jacket, which I've made a couple of times. I made a reversible one and one with like an alpine fleece on the inside. Could make that with it. It could be a pogo nip. This is very versatile in terms of what it might be. It might even end up being a little skirt. I haven't decided now that I've got it home. The other one I got from Higgs and Higgs is the same fabric base. It is a quilted jersey, but it's in the larger square design rather than the small kind of triangle quilted style. This is a different, but it's the same fabric, so it's in the cream, and it is actually it is a little bit different because the back is different, where that looks like it's the same fabric both sides. This is kind of got a different back to it, but it's stretchy, it's got some give and movement in it. So yeah, when I picked this up, I thought the high cuff sweater, and I am wondering if that would make a nice little set, like a high cuff sweater with a little earline, a little kind of mini earline skirt or something. I don't know. I've got lots of options there. I think they'd look really nice together, and if I did do them as like a set and make a skirt or something from this to go with this, I might even use like a navy ribbon on this so that it pairs nicely. I don't know. I do need to find some ribbon if I am going to make the high cuff sweater. What I'll do, I'll take a little sample of it and take it out with me so I get a good colour match. Or I've got some navy that goes really well with this, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I'm quite excited that I've got these two fabrics ready to go in the wash. They could be jackets, they could be something completely different, because I think it's got a lot of versatility, and it is soft. It's very soft, and I think it'd be lovely and warm for the coming season. So they were the main fabrics that I purchased. I got some bits and bobs, and I'm gonna start with so where was this from? This was, I am gonna start with this. This was from Susie Sharp Vintage. Now Sam and I poured over this little store for quite some time. They had vintage bits of everything, including bedding and bits of fabric and lots of kind of haberdashery bits. This reminded me when I was a kid and we used to go to the haberdashery shop in town, and they used to have their buttons on these kind of cards. Just reminded me of being dragged into them shops that I didn't like the smell of, and I was bored when I was in there. But actually now I'm a grown up, I wish I'd appreciated it a little bit more. These are beautiful navy buttons. I've got some gorgeous trouser weight fabric. I think it's chino type fabric that these will go really nice with. I've got the jersey fabric I've just showed you. I don't know what I'm going to use these for, but I'd be happy just to look at them in my button stash until the right opportunity comes along to use them. They were £10 for 12 buttons, which I thought was really good value. And I also got some in this lovely kind of orangey, dark orangey colourway. Again, I think they will go really nice with, I have still got quite a bit of the cord fabric left that I made the simi skirt with. Maybe I'll put these on the simi skirt. I don't know. I might make another one. I might make something else. They're a good match though. They look really nice together. So they were my buttons. Oh, actually, I do have more buttons. I won on the spinning wheel when I was at the Trends Pattern store. I won some free buttons. So I got these. I got 5 of these little silver buttons with the shank. I don't know if you can see that yet. Got a shank on it, and they're just cute. It took me ages to decide which buttons to pick, and I picked them because they are quite neutral and will go with lots of different things. So I have my buttons, lots of buttons. I think I need a new tin or jar because my button tins and jars are a little bit full at the moment, but hey ho, more buttons. I also purchased from Zooniverse these earrings. Now I am going to show you a picture because I wore the Blanca flight suit in that gorgeous denim that I purchased from Fabric Obsession, the Fibre Mood denim. I had that blank suit on at the event and they just matched so perfectly. I turned up in these and then I walked around in these because I put them on as soon as I purchased them. They are just so pretty. A lovely little stall, lovely stall. It was very busy though. Lots of people interested in what was on offer there. So where will I go next? Okay, so Jen Hogg, one of the nicest ladies. I mean, we went there, they'd been there for 4 days solid. Everybody, all of the stallholders looked tired. You can tell they'd been, they'd had a really busy time of it, but Jen still took the time to have a really lovely conversation with myself and Sam and explain, she talked through a lot of her her business and what she makes, and I just had to try the Flex silicone hammer. So I bought one of them, which I'm sure you've seen. You can kind of curve it round your hem, pin it, iron it down, and then it's easier to sew a nice seam that has a curve on it. So I'm going to give that a try and see how we get on. And it comes with a lovely instruction on the back around how to use it. Yeah, I really enjoyed meeting Jen. I have bought from Jen at other events like the Knit and Stitch show. No, I was at the Knit and Stitch show, at the Stitch Fest, but her stall was always so busy. That's the first time I've had an opportunity to have a conversation with her, and she's really a lovely lady. So I was quite happy to purchase something from her business, and that's what I got. I got the Flex. And then the last thing I want to show you is, oh no, I've got 2 more things. So I've got these from A Beautiful Thing, Fabrics and More, and they are just a gorgeous little pair of super sharp scissors, ideal for trimming those little teal ends, nice and close to the fabric, and I thought it's time I invested in a nice little pair. So I have those and they're super sharp. So yeah, got those. And then the last thing I want to show you was from Shoot Lane. Shoot Lane as in S-H-U-T-E Lane. So that's their card that they put in, and this is what I purchased. Now these squares are hand drawn and then made onto fabric, and I just thought they were absolutely gorgeous. And I want to make a little quilted something or other, whether it's a pillowcase, cushion cover, part of a little lap blanket. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I do want to make something with it. There were so many different designs. They were gorgeous, and I decided that what I was going to pick out was the everything I find in my own garden. So I started with Mr. Badger. There is Mr. Badger, and with the large designs there were some miniatures of each one. So I'm going to patchwork them onto something that I'm going to make, and they are the badgers. This is my favourite thing to see in the garden, and there's about 6 of them that come to Chris's bird feeder regularly, and I just love seeing them, and that is the beautiful robin and also the miniature robins. These are also a regular visit to the garden. I think they come at 11 o'clock and then they come back at 3 o'clock and have a good feed, and they are the blue tits. I think that's what they're called. How cute is that? And through the summer I see lots of these in my garden, and they are the dragonflies. Just lovely colours in this one. There's the dragonfly and the miniature dragonflies. These are not very popular, but I quite like seeing them in the garden. There's 2 of them live in a tree in my garden. I have a nest there. That's the magpies. And there's the magpies. And the final one is the grey squirrel. I think they're very cute, but they're always pulling up my potted plants to hide their nuts this time of year, and they are the last of the little squares that I purchased to make a nice little quilted something with. That'll be a lovely project to do over the Christmas break, I think, when I get a little bit of downtime. So that was all of my purchases from the Knit and Stitch Shore. And oh no, there's one more. I didn't show you this, did I? This was also from Susie Sharp, the vintage shop, where I got the buttons from. Did I show you this? I don't think I did. This is a remnant piece of Liberty fabric, and this is the one bit of fabric that I don't know what I'm going to do with. There's 1.3 meters. It's just so pretty. It's so soft. I had to grab it really, and then it'll sit in my stash until I know what I'm going to do with it. I may use it as pocket lining for maybe some of the jackets that I'm going to make. I might even turn it into bias binding and use it to bind a jacket. It's just the cutest, softest fabric. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but you know, it's just one of them fabrics when you're going through your stash that you're happy to stop and look at and think, isn't that pretty? So I have that little patch of Liberty fabrics. Actually, you know, 1.3 meters, I could make a Donny shirt or something with it. So I could make an item with it. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do with that. And that is my final item from the Knit and Stitch Shore. I did, when I was walking around there, I did see it. I don't think I'd come back. Because I was expecting the Sunday to be way less busy. We did find the restaurant downstairs much quieter. I think they were like food stalls in the main area. The building is beautiful. It was busy. It was really busy. And if I do go again, I will definitely go with someone else again, because that kind of chatting, and it took my mind off that anxiety of being in a place with loads of people. And actually not everybody's thoughtful about what they're doing. There's a guy who had a gigantic backpack and he was just swinging himself about and almost knocking people out. There was a lot of people there in disability scooters and such like. I don't know how they coped. It was so busy in there, but it just felt a little bit overcrowded for my personal satisfaction. But actually the range of knit and stitch was really lovely. I really enjoyed the variety of stuff that was available there. I did chat with a lady on the train platform who is a knitter and a crochet, and she said that she'd been going there for a lot of years, and every year there's less of the knit, there's less of the knitting stalls and more craft and more garment sewing. So she finds the change is less suitable for her, but recognise it brings more people in. I think on the way out, when Sam and I were going to get the shuttle bus back down to the station, the guys there were really lovely and said to me, you can get back to King's Cross direct from the train station at Ali Pali, which no one had told me when I was on my way out, and there were lots of train disruptions. They were just shoving me on buses, and I did not enjoy the journey there. The journey home was much easier. I know my way home from King's Cross, that was pretty straightforward. So would I do it again? I would, now that I know an easy route. But I definitely wouldn't go on my own because I would feel a little bit overwhelmed. And actually, as Sam and I were walking around in the morning, I did hear my name being shouted. When I turned, Becky from What Beck Saws was running towards me and was like, I knew that was our fabric. So yeah, that was lovely to bump into Becky and Adele and two of their friends that they were with. It was a very short and sweet meet because they had to get back to the other people who they'd kind of arranged to spend the day with. But it was really nice to see them and for them to see one of their fabrics made up and walking around the knit and stitch show. So that was really nice, and had a wonderful day. Really enjoy spending time with Sam whenever we get together, whether that's kind of meeting in London for a day or at her sewing social. I always enjoy her company. So it was a really good day, and I got home, I was absolutely knackered, and that feeling hasn't left me all week. Birmingham, travelling to Birmingham, there were disruptions on the train. Unfortunately, someone had jumped in front of a train, so New Street was a no-go area. So there were disruptions all day in my commute to Birmingham, and then coming back from Birmingham, there was a disruption because there was an animal on the track on the way back. So it was just tiring after recovering from really not feeling well. I pushed myself and got out there on the Sunday and really enjoyed it. But I'm at home today and I'm not at the Sophies, which I'm a bit sad about. But I'm glad I made that decision because I can relax today. I can get my housework done and I can maybe do a little bit of sewing. So that's how my week has gone, and that's my little gathering of stuff. I'm sure over the next vlogs you will see what I'm making with these lovely fabrics, but I need to get them in the wash, and that means I need to get my household washing done first. So I will get on and I will catch up with you soon. Take care, bye for now.